Morning, guys. I thought I'd do a bit of a morning chat. I'll have me coffee before it gets cold because I've actually done a video before this one for the other channel. It's lovely and warm here in the UK, as I like to show you out there. Oh, it reminds me of days of the Philippines, really does. Preparing to go back to Spain very soon, and I'm just place absolute tipping here at the minute. Been sorting all the stuff that I've been ordering from Amazon, all the prezzies and things. So it's a bit of a junk shop, boxes everywhere, and so I won't show you around the room today. So yeah, what's been going on? I mean, this year is a bit peculiar, and I've tried to sidestep politics, but I get into it a little bit more. I know somebody put Trump on the last thread. Trump's not going to get anywhere on the US side now. You've got to control the media. As soon as that media pressure's off, you've lost. It's as simple as that. That is the game these days. It doesn't matter if you're telling the truth or a liar. If you control the media, you control the circus, you control the vote. That's it. At which point you can do what you want. That's Boris and the Boris bus. Because reality is that bus was everyone keep, it was complete nonsense. Well, A, I wouldn't believe the NHS needed that money, but B, the NHS's problem is the way it wastes money. But I'm not even getting into was the money available or whatever, because the point is it was just a bold statement of whimsical nature, just to make an issue. So yeah, just be aware of that. But the best media is probably talking to the bloke in the pub. He's probably speaks more truth. Oh, so you're not allowed in the pub now. Or you could go, but you can't sit next to him. But can you sit there if you know him? I mean, maybe I would sit next to him if you live in the same house. So you might be able to talk to the bloke in the pub, depending who he is, thanks to COVID. Yeah, I mean, it's all a bit peculiar. There's been a few millionaires made this year. I know some people have been connecting dots with various companies, Wealth Health Organisation, etc. I'm not getting into conspiracy theory. I'm getting into mathematics. This is mathematics at work. You know, when you design cars, a lot of cars look the same because they go through the same aerodynamics, the same programming, the same natural environment. You know, for aerodynamics, because aerodynamics is little wavy lines and whatever, and they start looking very similar. As corporations get bigger and bigger, they start to absorb and absorb and absorb, and they start to have these other entities that connect all the dots, because they'll buy, say, a needle production factory because they bought a pharmaceutical company or hospitals. You know, that is mathematics in the sense of that's a progression point. Why would they do that? Increase profitability, increases ownership, increases the portfolio, increases the value of the business. They already have the market and the demand, so why wouldn't you buy these other things? Where it gets a bit dirty is when they start moving politics into the same realms, and I'm not saying that occurs because I don't have to. I think people are quite understanding of connections of certain entities out there. I mean, the one that's a little bit frustrating for me at the moment is probably the whole COVID test nonsense, because I'm having to get a test to go back to Spain, and they've dropped the key workers one. They've dropped the has your work told you to get a test one, because before they're all free on the NHS. This is time to cash in. You have to go and pay for it. Now, Boots Chemist, it's £120 or 125. Online, there's like 175 to 250 quid. And the reality is, in Spain, it's €40. Am I missing something here? Why is it so expensive in the UK? Because we can, and we can force people to do it. And so it's all a bit peculiar. Because if I was suspected of having COVID from work, right? This is me thinking logically. I don't care if the test, because it takes them so long to come back to me anyway. So if I go and get a test done, I'm working from home. So I go to sites maybe a couple of times a week at the minute. So on one of those instances, I pick up, because some of these places have high risks because of the schools. So I pick it up and someone says, "Oh, everyone's had it. You need to get a test." I go, "Nah, I'll just quarantine myself 14 days. What advantage is me to pay for a test? Maybe I'm just stupid here. I can work from home for 2 weeks. Why do I need to be a statistic in the system to reinforce why we're paying for tests? It just doesn't make any sense, because what's the difference between having the test and not having the test for me? Absolutely nothing. So, I mean, I was listening to people on, I think it was Radio 4 before, going, "Well, I have a poor heart condition, I have this, I need to go and get it." Why? Just stay away from people. Because if I'm quarantined for 14 days, then after that 14-day period, either I'm very ill or I'm fine. Very ill or fine. If I'm very ill, then obviously an ambulance will get called, because I'm not doing anything until I'm very ill anyway. And if I'm fine, I've saved 120 quid on a COVID test. So why do I need to get the government involved in this stuff? You don't. Simple as that. You're better off sitting there with bloody Google saying, what's Word going to say? Oh, I'm going to self quarantine because your school's had a outbreak. Get a test. I said, no, I won't go and get a test. What I will do though is I'll just quarantine myself 14 days, because it saves me having to bother putting in its expenses. And what is the outcome? And that's one of the key elements there when you're making decisions, is what is the outcome? Like when people get really annoyed and argue, "I'm going to tell him this, I'm going to tell him," what's the outcome? What's the benefit? If there's no benefit, don't waste your time. Move past it. Because it's not going to help you. It's going to make no difference whatsoever. You're better off just going, "All right, fine, move past it." You know the guy's an idiot or whatever, that's fine. But telling him he's an idiot has no benefit to you. There's no positive outcome from it. So when you do get these sort of events, what's the answer? Should I get annoyed? Well, being annoyed won't make any difference. These people are milking it for everything they can get. All you can do is like there, just like, all right, I'll just quarantine for 14 days. Problem solved. I'm flying on the 17th, so guess what? Staying away from people till the 17th. End of. I'm not going anywhere near anybody. Work goes, "Oh, well, we need you." Sorry, you're not jeopardising my flight home for Christmas. That just ain't happening. I can work from home. So yeah, look at it from that way. But I do think we're in a very peculiar time. The Brexit stuff looks like it's fallen on its backside, but that was all set up at the beginning. Wasn't that all no deal Brexit that certain parties wanted, and it was part of why people voted in Boris? When I say Boris, I just think about the guy in Men in Black. But the point being is, the thought is that, oh, we want that. And I do say it in that sort of tone, because the no deal Brexit isn't based on an outcome, it's an assumption. And the reason I say that, people go, "Well, we'll just automatically do this." Why do you assume your government is trustworthy as the same government in Europe you're trying to get rid of? They're all the same. They're politicians. And when people realise that politicians, too often, in my personal opinion, are self-serving parasites, then you start to see they're overpaid, often underqualified, and very often incapable of doing a decent job. And that's your fault as much as mine, because we don't actually try and get into government. Because like myself, I know I could do a better job on many aspects of running a government, because I'm analytical. I am often involved in a lot of these environments that are part of the government due to the type of work I do. So I have a good understanding. Oh, and I've had some real jobs. There's many a politician that could never say that. and actually deal with normal people. So yeah, there's a few aspects there, but I'm not a socialist. Um, so yeah, I'm going to finish my coffee now, but I just thought, just be aware. I think Brexit's going to fall on its backside over the Christmas. I do think we're ripped off for COVID tests. But one of the things I will say is have a great Christmas and just carry on regardless. Thanks for watching.